Okay, so yesterday we learned how to graph inequalities. So this is just going to be a quick review of that. I'm also going to demonstrate using the calculator to verify my answer. You could definitely use the calculator to get an answer, but I'm going to use it to verify my answer. So we're going to start with number 1. We have y is less than or equal to 5/3 x minus 4. So this is already in y equals, not equals, but y equals mx plus b. So we can graph by hand from this form. We don't have to do any math to get this to be able to graph it. So when we graph, remember that we start with the b, which is our y-intercept. I like to call it the beginning. So we're going to start by plotting a point at 0, -4, because that is our y-intercept. So 0, -4, right here. So that is going to be our y-intercept. I'm going to label it 0, -4. From there, I'm going to use my slope, which is 5/3, to rise over run. Remember that slope is rise over run. So rise 5, run 3. Both of those are positive. So I'm going to go up 5, right 3. So 2 positive directions. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1, 2, 3. Puts me right here at 3, 1. Then from there, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1, 2, 3, which puts me right there. So I'm going to label that point. So that coordinate right there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 6. Please make sure you're plotting at least, I would say 3 points. You really only need 2, but to make a really nice straight line, I would say at least 3. If they're closer together, maybe even more than that. And then that you're labeling 2 points. So if you want to label all 3 of them, great. I'm only asking that you label 2 of them. So we have 0, -4, 6, 6. If you wanted to label that one, it would be 3, 1. From there, now we need to decide from this symbol right here. So this symbol right here tells me that it is going to be a solid line because it has the equal to. That equal to right there tells me it's solid, and it is less than, so that's going to be below. So that's the 2 things that that symbol tells me. It's solid, and I'm going to shade below. So I'm going to draw my solid line. I'm actually going to let my iPad draw a straight line for me. So there we go. There's my straight line. You have a ruler, so please use that. So there's my straight solid line, and I'm going to shade below. So I'm going to shade this one below. I'm going to use gray to do that. So we're shading below this. So I'm going to shade like this today. So any point or coordinate in the shaded area is a solution. So 0, 0 in this case would not be. It's not in the shaded area. The points on the line are solutions because it's a solid line. All right? So let's look at number 2. So the next example, number 2. Y is greater than -1/2 x plus 7. So again, it's already in y equals mx plus b, so we don't have to do any math to get it there. We're just going to graph by hand. This time I'm going to show you using your calculator how you can use your calculator to get this and then transfer from your calculator to your paper. So we're going to graph using our calculator. So I'm going to do add a graph. All right, so this says y is greater than. This says f of x or y equals. We don't want that, so we're going to delete that equal sign. And then you should see, look, here are the other options. So you could choose number 6 relation and type it all in yourself, but they kind of help you out by making it a little bit faster here. So we're choosing this one, y is greater than. And then we're going to type -1/2, so control divide to get the fraction bar, -1/2 x plus 7. And there it is. So here it is way up here. Remember, if you click in the blank area, you click and hold, then you can drag your paper so you can see a little bit better. You can also click and move this label out of the way. So a couple of things you should see. This line, when you scroll over, it's bold. It's a dashed line, and it's shaded above. So greater than right there, that symbol, greater than, right here, tells us that it's a dashed line, and we shade above. They started at 0, 7, so I can trace, menu, trace, graph trace. If I go to 0, 0, 7 is the very first point. So if you were going to transfer this to your paper, you would do it like this. You would trace to get points. So 0, 7, and then you want to get a couple of more points. So you might go to like 2, 6, that works. 4, 5, that works. So just as long as you can get pretty points that you can plot and then draw your line. I'm going to show you to graph by hand, but this helps you confirm it if you're not really confident in your graphing skills. So if I'm graphing by hand, I'm going to start at 0, 7. That's the y-intercept. So my y-intercept is 0, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. So I'm going to label that 0, 7. From there, our slope, let me scroll down just a little bit. Our slope is negative 1/2. So negative 1/2, we're going to rise negative 1, run positive 2. So if I put the negative with the 1, then this becomes positive. So down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. So we're going to do that. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And that's all we can actually plot. So I'm going to label this one out here. Should be at 8, 3. If I wasn't sure about that, I would go to my graph and trace to 8. There it is, 8, 3. That definitely is confirmed there. Okay. So 8, 3. All right, and then we are drawing a dashed line. It's dashed because this does not have an equal to. So I'm going to draw a dashed line here. So that means the points on the line, so 0, 7, 2, 6, 4, 5, all of these points on this line are not a solution. And then we're shading greater than, which is above, and that is what our graph here shows, is that it's shaded above. So I'm shading above this. So every point above the line, not on the line, but above the line is a solution. So all of that is a solution. 0, 0 right here would not be a solution. So that's using your calculator to confirm it. Okay. All right, I'm going to skip ahead to number 4. We'll come back to number 3. So number 4, we have 2x minus 5y is greater than or equal to 30. So if you're graphing by hand, you first have to get this to y equals mx plus b. You can use your calculator, but again, you have to confirm it on your paper, so definitely make sure you trace to point. So I'm going to first get this to y equals mx plus b. So the first step is to move the 2x to the other side. We do that by subtracting. So we subtract 2x, those cancel, we get negative 5y is greater than or equal to. We can't actually subtract 2 x's from 30 because it doesn't have an x. We just bring those both down. So negative 2x plus 30. Last step, we divide by negative 5. Divide every single piece by negative 5. When we divide by a negative, the most important part is that we remember to flip our sign. We're dividing by a negative. So this sign is going to become less than or equal to. We have to flip that sign over. And then we simplify from there. So we're going to simplify this. So we get y is less than or equal to a negative 2 divided by a negative 5 would be positive 2/5 x. Positive 30 divided by negative 5 is negative 6. From there, we can graph. So I'll show you how I can see that this original inequality and the one that I just got are actually the same. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to do Control Doc to add a page. I'm going to add a graph. So I'm going to delete the equal sign, and I'm going to choose number 6, relation. I'm going to graph the original problem. So the original problem was 2x minus 5y. Then I'm going to do Control equals to get all my symbols. Is greater than or equal to, that's what's on my paper, 30. Whoops. 30. There it is. So if I look at it, here it is. I can drag it if I want to see a little bit more of it. All right, I'm going to push tab, and I'm going to graph what I got when I put it in y equals mx plus b. So if these match, if I did this math correctly, then it should graph it right over the top of it. It should be the same. So I'm going to graph y, Control equals, is less than or equal to 2/5, so 2/5 x minus 6. If I'm right, I should get another graph right on top of what I already have. So there it is. So now I have like a black or brown color over an orange color. So maybe it's black over red, so it looks brown. So there it is. It definitely is the same thing. And you can drag it if you're not sure, but you definitely see that they're the same. So you know you did that math correctly. So from here, we could just trace menu 5, 1. They're both the same, so it doesn't matter. I would start at 0. So 0, -6, that should match. Right, our y-intercept here is at -6, so 0, -6 matches. So I'm going to plot that point, 0, -6. And then I'm going to label it 0, -6. From there, we would rise and run using our slope, which is 2 over 5. So rise 2, run 5, both positive. So we're going to go up 1, 2, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can only do that once, so the other option is to go down to left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you wanted to confirm these, this one should be at -5, -8, I believe. -5, -8. So let's go to our calculator at -5, -8. There it is. The other one over here on the right-hand side is at 5, -1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, -4. So go back to my calculator, type in 5. There it is, 5, -4. So I'm going to label it as well. So 5, -4. The last part is where am I shading? So according to my inequality that we simplified right here, we get y is less than or equal to. So that tells me it's a solid line. This little line tells me it's solid, and I'm shading below. If I go to my calculator, it is confirmed. This is definitely a solid line, and everything is shaded below. So we're going to draw a solid line. So there's our solid line. Mine's not perfect, and we're shading below. So we're going to shade this below the line. So all of this down here is a solution. Points on the line, so -5, -8, 0, -6, and 5, -4 would all also be solutions because they are on the line and it is a solid line. So those are solutions. 0, 0 out here outside the shaded area would not be a solution.